Good evening. Nun Vav Amud Aleph, around 3/4 down, 2 dots. Maraba. The case of the robbers in the Mishnah. Rabbah says Behu Shahatra refers to the animal dug under the wall. Therefore, the owner is not responsible because the owner did what he could. Avalo Hatramai, but if let's say it did not dug between the wall, but rather that wall fell down. What's the halacha? Hayav b'chayav. What's the case? If it's referring to a strong wall. Kilo Hatramai Hayav. If he didn't dig under, then what did he do wrong? He made a strong wall. It's not his fault. And the Bekuta was referring to a weak wall. So kihatra. So we dug under. Am I patur? Why patur we dug? He started off with being posheya, negligent by not putting a strong wall, and ended up being an honest that he dug under the side. Right, he left the door open, but it happened to jump over the fence. Or it says patur. Okay, that makes sense according to the opinion that holds your patur. According to the opinion holds that you're chayav. What's the halacha? Where I said it's referring to a case where it is a good wall. Even if it did not dig underneath the patur. And what was the Rabbah's halacha going on? I say for the second case in the Mishnah. That what? If the sheep was left in the sun, you give it to one of these people, is kind of damaged, chayav. So Amarabah, even if it dug under the wall, even if it did not dug under the wall, but rather it escaped regularly, you be chayav. The kula b'shiyahu, because you were posheya by leaving the animal in the sun or with a hashu. Even if it dug under the wall, you might think it's in the case of beginning with negligence, ending in a mistake. The whole thing is negligent. My time, immediately they came in the shakti called because if you left the sun, the person can say that, listen, you left the animal in the sun. Of course, it'll do whatever it can. It will literally drive itself mad to get out of the sun to escape. Next part of the Mishnah said, the robbers took it out, the robbers are chayav. Shita, of course, came out since once they took it out of the possession of the owner, it's now their problem. What's the hidush? Halacha is they unlocked it and they stood in front of the animal toward, let's say, someone else's grain, so to eat that grain. But they didn't touch the animal. They didn't actually take the animal out, but they basically led the animal to someone else's property. Because Rabbi said, someone's kamat chavero, sorry. Someone leads someone else's animal and someone else's grain. Obviously, if you stood it on top, you're chayav. For things where he steered it toward that directions, right? He wants to turn left, you block it, so you go straight. You want to right, you block it, so you go straight. You told us in the case where the people hit the animal. The list of Namidei Kushan, also in the case of the Mishnah, is referring to where the animal, the robbers hit the animal to go the direction. Okay, new Mishnah. Next part of Mishnah. Right? If you give it to the shepherd takes over. Who does it take over? If it goes over the owners of the animal. We've done this before. The owner of the animal gave it to an unpaid shomer, a borrower, a paid shomer, or someone who's renting it. You already take over the owner. That's the same thing as someone who's a shepherd. The shomer is referring to if the watchman gave it over to the shepherd takes over the watchman. But in the first case should be completely patur. Seemingly, it's a question against Rabba. In the case where one shomer, I told you I'm watching your item and I give it to someone else to watch the item, I'm hayav if something happens to it. Seemingly like stir out. Gemara says, Amar Rava, my mitzvah what do you mean you gave it to a shepherd? Le bar zileh. You gave it to the apprentice, meaning the first watchman was an expert shepherdman, and he gave it to the guy who's interning by him to take it over. In that case, even in that case, batur, the because it's common for someone to hand it over to their intern, to their apprentice. But in general, if I told you I want you to watch my animal, my stuff, you can't hand it over to someone else to watch it because I will tell them I didn't want him to watch it. I wanted you to watch it. Different version, referring to the case where he gave it to the shepherd, he looked at him and said, did not give someone else. Shamina Ma'im the Ravers meaning would he give it to the shepherd? Masaru Ela the Barzlay, the shepherd gave it to parents. The Urkhed or Ela Musala Barzlay, because that's usually what happens. Abu the Aher Lob, you can't give it to someone else. Lema Musala the Rav, the Rav, the Marava, Shemar Hashmas and Hayav, so I'm trying to bring a proof for the Rav that you can't give it elsewhere and you'll be Hayav. Marla, Amrila, it's not a good proof. Dilma Urkhed the Miltek time, referring to the Mishnah just teaching you what usually happens. Yani, the who had didn't but the same thing would apply if you gave it to someone else, you sleep patur. Not a proof for the Rav. Itmar. Shomer Abada, someone watching a lost object, right? So someone found something, he's watching the lost object till he finds the owner. Rabbi says he's like a Shomer Hinam, an unpaid guy. You only chayav if he's negligent, but patur for everything else. Rabbi Yosef Amar, Kishomer Sachar, that means is it paid? He's paid watchman and he's chayav for a lot of other things, even accidents, and not only for negligence. Rabbi Mark Shomer Hinam, Rabbi says he's like a unpaid watchman, a free guy. Why would he be? Why would it be like a paid guy? He's not gaining anything out of it. He's not getting hana. He's considered like a paid guy. And he's benefiting that he does not have to give bread to a poor guy. I mean, he doesn't have to give tzedakah while he's busy with the lost object. Therefore, he's paid, right? So the fact that you are doing this mitzvah and you're patur from giving tzedakah, you're patur from all that stuff, that is your payment. As follows, the rest of the say that you're like a paid guy. Since the Torah forced you to watch the lost item, that's why you're considered like a paid watchman. Now they're going to start asking questions. Let's ask the question according to Rabbi. If you find the lost object and you return it to where you found it so that the owner will find it, you don't have to take care of it. You don't have to worry about it if it gets touched. However, if it was stolen or lost, then you're chayav. So what does that? What does it mean it was stolen or lost? Was referred to a case where it was from your house, and therefore we see that you're not considered a shomer sachar. And therefore you are considered shomer sachar, and you're chayav for theft. When it says referring to the case where you returned it to the location where you found it, so the guy finds it, so the owner finds it, but if you put it there, then you are chayav. The Gemara says, the Mishnah already said you're not chayav to deal with it anymore. So why would you be chayav if you return to that spot? In this case, is referring to going to return in the afternoon. There's two cases going on. If you return in the morning to the place where the owner would find it, it's a time where the owner usually goes to find it. So obviously, it's referring to a case where you know the owner and you know where his hobbies are, or you know his schedule is. You don't have to worry about it anymore. If you return in the afternoon in a place where the owner would see it, but he doesn't usually go there in the afternoon, then you're chayav. As you have another question, the find is always chayav until he returns to the owner. Always even if you're from your house. Therefore, you try and prove against that it is considered like a paid watchman because you're chayav if it was stolen from you. In the case of animals, if it gets stolen, since they have the habit of walking outside, you have to watch it extra carefully. So if you lose the animal because it walked outside your property, that's your fault because you're supposed to take care of it a little more than just, let's say, a pen that you found. That's another question from yourself. The pasuk says you shall return it. And the I only know that you have to return it to the owner's house. How can I know that I could even return it to the guy's garden or to his empty building? That's that Yosef. You shall return it. Any type of returning is good. What case is garden or empty building? Is referring to a case where it's a secure garden or secure empty building. Something is a house. What's the chidush? Rather than Barth is teaching you, you return to the garden or the building that's not secure. So we see that you're like a shomer chinam. You don't have to worry about it getting stolen. Really, it is considered this. Really, it is the secure buildings. Or the question you asked me that's sending as a was the chidush. The chidush is that you don't need to let the owner know. Rather, you return it without letting him know, and you're good to go. Any case where you're returning something has to let the owner know. He has to be aware. Right, except for returning lost object. Because the Torah included many types of returning and being valid. I mean, the Torah says that you're allowed to return any type of way, right? So, but let's say a thief returning the stolen object, he has to let him know. But a lost object does not have to let him know because the Torah said you can return it any way you want. We'll stop here. Amen.